There once was a man with two sons who lived on a small farm. They weren't wealthy. They generally lived from meal to meal, but they had various animals that lived in their barn who helped keep them in meals. But eventually there came a time, as there always does, that the father became older and died. Now the two sons were very different. One was a crazy son. One was a very smart son. Shortly before the man had died, they had built a second barn to accommodate their animals. But the man was dead now, so it was time to divide the property among the sons. Well, you know how often the division of property can divide brothers. But the crazy brother had a suggestion for his smart brother. He said, "Brother, why, I have an idea. Why don't we, to decide who gets which animals, why don't we, when they come home from the field tonight, see which barn they go to, and all of the animals that go to the old barn can be yours, and all of the animals that go to the new barn can be mine." Well, the smart brother, being smart like he was, realized, well, all of the animals are going to want to go to the old barn because that's what they're used to. So he very happily agreed. So of course, when the animals came down from the field that night, what happened? They all went to the old barn, except of course one old ox who was perhaps a little confused went into the new barn. So the smart brother was very happy, thinking, well, I have all these animals, I'll be fine. The crazy brother, though, thought to himself, what am I going to do? I have only one old ox. How can I make a living with that? So he decided he would take it and sell it. So the next morning he hiked off on the trail up the mountain. He walked forever. It seemed like 6 months. And he just was getting nowhere. And finally he got tired and came to a tree, and there was a hoopoe bird at the top of the tree singing his song, "Hoopoo-poo, hoopoo-poo, ibibik, ibibik." So he said, I'm tired, I don't want to go any further. Why don't I sell this ox to the bird? So he said to the bird, how would you like to buy my fine ox? And the bird said, hoopoo-poo, hoopoo-poo, ibibik, ibibik. Not much of an answer. So the brother asked again, the bird repeated again. So finally the brother took that for an assent. He led himself to believe that the bird said, yes, I want to buy your ox. So he asked the bird for the money, and the bird said, hoopoo-poo, hoopoo-poo, ibibik, ibibik, because he had no money, of course. So the brother said, I'll come back tomorrow for the money when you have it, tied the ox to the tree and went home. So the next day he came back, asked the bird, where's the money for my ox? The bird says, poo-poo, hoopoo-poo, ibibik, ibibik. That's all he gets out of him. So he became angry after he asked several times and the bird wouldn't answer. So he pulled out his axe and said, I'm going to cut your tree down. So the bird finally didn't want the tree cut down. So he said, no, wait, don't cut down the tree. And I will give you a wonderful donkey in exchange for your ox. I have no money, but you can have my donkey. Well, what was the crazy brother to do? It was better than going home with nothing. But the bird did warn him, now, when you have this donkey, just be extra careful that you do not ever say, whoa, donkey, whoa. So the brother, crazy as he was, said, sure, why would I say that? So he took the donkey and went back down the mountain. But on the way down, he thought, now, why am I not supposed to say, whoa, donkey, whoa? So he tried it. Whoa, donkey, whoa. And immediately the donkey stopped, lifted his tail, and relieved himself. But instead of donkey poop, he relieved himself of gold coins. Well, wasn't that brother excited? So he raced home with the donkey to tell his smart brother. And the smart brother cautioned him, oh, brother, don't you tell anybody that, because everyone will want to come and get your donkey. So make sure to keep it a secret. Well, the crazy brother did not know how to keep a secret. He couldn't even sleep that night. He was so excited. So the next morning he said, oh, my donkey has no shoes. And being the valuable donkey that he is, he deserves shoes. So he took the donkey to a blacksmith and asked him to shoe him for him. And he said, but whatever you do, to the blacksmith, he said, whatever you do, don't say, whoa, donkey, whoa. So then he left, say he can come back later in the day for the donkey. And the blacksmith wondered, now why am I not supposed to say, whoa, donkey, whoa? So the blacksmith, big burly guy that he is, says, whoa, donkey, whoa. Well, next thing you know, the donkey's relieving himself of golden coins. Oh, was that blacksmith excited? I figured he just made a jackpot there. So he decided he was going to exchange and return to he said the crazy guy doesn't know anything about anything. I'm going to just, give him a different donkey. So he went back to his barn and got his old donkey out and kept the donkey that relieved himself of golden coins. And when the crazy brother came for his donkey, he gave him the donkey that was just an ordinary donkey. So when the crazy brother got home and said, whoa, donkey, whoa, the donkey lifted his tail and pooped donkey poop. So he went back to the blacksmith very angry. What do you do? You gave me the wrong donkey. This isn't my donkey. What did you do to my donkey? And the blacksmith says, you're just crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. I said, of course it's your donkey. What would I do with your donkey? You have your donkey. Go home. So the poor guy went home and, now what am I going to do? So he decides he's going to go back to the bird and demand money because now he doesn't even have the donkey. So he went back up the mountain, sees the hoopoe bird, and says, where's my donkey money? And the hoopoe bird says, hoopoo-poo, hoopoo-poo, ibibic, ibibic. Again, he asks him again, same answer. So finally he threatens again, I'm going to cut down your tree. Takes out his axe, and the bird, no, don't cut down my tree. Tell you what, I'll give you this tablecloth for your for your ox. So he takes the tablecloth, but then of course the bird warns him, whatever you do not say open tablecloth, open. So the guy heads down the mountain, the crazy brother heads down the mountain. He thinks to himself, I remember when I wasn't supposed to say, whoa, donkey, whoa, and look how that turned out. So he says, open tablecloth, open. Well, didn't it open up, and it was spread with the most wondrous array of foods. 40 different meats, 40 different pastries, 40 different fruits. It was just unbelievable the amount of food that was on there. So of course he races to his smart brother to say, look at this wonderful tablecloth. And he shows his smart brother, and his smart brother says to him, now whatever you do, don't go telling people, look what happened to your donkey. Just be smart. Keep the tablecloth and live in luxury the rest of your life. Well, of course, he couldn't keep a secret. He was so excited he couldn't sleep. So the next morning he calls up the Padisha, who's like the ruler of the land, and offers to have a wonderful feast for him and all of his army. He invites 50,000 soldiers and the Padisha to come for a feast. So he, inside the privacy of his tent, he says, open tablecloth, open. Marvelous array of food. Has his servants serve it to the Padisha and the army, and the food just keeps rolling out and rolling out. And the Padisha finally says to one of his men, you have to go in there and see what's going on. This is not possible. He can be cooking all of this food. So they go in and see what's happening with the tablecloth. So he goes in and threatens him and says, give me the tablecloth or I'll have your head. So what's the crazy brother to do? Of course, he had to give up his tablecloth. Now what's he going to do? So he goes back the next day, of course, to the bird, asking again, where's my ox money? And what does the bird say? The bird says, hoopoo-poo, hoopoo-poo, ibibic, ibibic, because that's all he knows how to say. Until, of course, the crazy brother once again says, I am going to cut down your tree. So he gets out his axe. The bird goes, no, wait, don't cut down my tree. I'll give you this pumpkin. So the crazy brother, first of all, thinks, what does he want a pumpkin for? But then again, look at the donkey and look at the tablecloth. So he accepts the pumpkin. Now, of course, the bird says, whatever you do not say, come out of the pumpkin and hit so-and-so about the head. So he's thinking, that's very odd. But he goes down the mountain, and halfway down the mountain, he thinks, I better test this out. Something wonderful is going to happen. So he says to the pumpkin, whatever you do, don't come out and hit so-and-so about the head. And don't 40 little men come racing out of the pumpkin with big sticks in their hand. They start beating him over the head, and they're beating him and beating him and beating him till he can't stand it. So he screams, get back in the pumpkin, and they obediently race back into the pumpkin. So he's thinking, wow, this is a pretty cool tool. So he goes home and decides, I can get back my donkey. he takes his pumpkin, the magic pumpkin, takes it to the blacksmith, and demands his donkey back. Blacksmith goes, I told you, you're crazy. I don't have your donkey. But he says to the pumpkin, come out of that pumpkin and beat the blacksmith about the head. And sure enough, these 40 little guys come racing out of the pumpkin with their sticks, and they're beating the blacksmith over their head till finally he cries, I give up, I give up. Take your donkey and go. It's in my barn, take it. So he gets his donkey back. So he goes, wow, that worked pretty well. So he goes to the Padisha, does the same thing. I want my tablecloth back. The Padisha goes, it's my tablecloth now. So he says the same thing to the pumpkin. Come out of the pumpkin and beat the Padisha over the head. And don't these 40 little guys come running out, beating on this Padisha, and even all the men couldn't pull him, all of his men could not pull them off. So finally he goes, take your tablecloth, and go. So he takes the tablecloth, gets on his donkey, tablecloth over his arm, pumpkin under the arm, rides away home, happy as a curd with 5 goats. And this time, the crazy brother learned his lesson, became a little bit smarter like his smart brother, and lived happily on the food that came whenever he needed it and the gold coins whenever he needed them. And that's the end of my story.